Hey there sexy gamers, and welcome to PurePlay TV's review of Jade's Ascension. Jade's Ascension is at its best when you're playing with multiple people and facing a big wave of enemies in its 4-player local co-op mode. It does manage to be interesting at first, but the game quickly becomes repetitive without a lot of new elements to keep you engaged. There's no story in the game, but the description on the PlayStation Store describes it as how the Kingdom of Mogilonia decides on a new emperor. All the candidates compete in the trial named the Ascension of Jade, and the winner becomes royalty. That trial consists of picking your character and shooting enemies who materialize in the room as you try to reach the top of the tower. The gameplay is similar to a twin-stick shooter, and movement is handled by the left stick with a quick dash from L1. The right stick is used to fire and aim. You'll run around the room and dodge attacks while trying to shoot anything else. It normally works fine, but there are times I'm shooting directly at something without hitting. There are some enemies' attacks that seem to hit even when you dodge. I also had someone fall off the elevator to the next room, forcing me to restart from the beginning. The issues aren't happening every time, but they are annoying when they do. After beating all the enemies, you can stand on the platform in the middle of the room and ascend to the next floor to rinse and repeat. The enemy variety is limited, and you won't see many new creatures after the first handful of levels, just more of them. You also cannot save your progress, so you're always starting over from the first floor without any upgrades.
PlayStation. I'd like to introduce a game that we've been working on for the past few years called Maquette. It's a first-person puzzle game set in a world that is nested inside of itself recursively. The player will use these nested recursive worlds to solve a completely unique set of puzzles. Let me show you how this works. Here you can see this big castle, an ornate dome over here, and these towers. The orange cube is blocking our way to the towers. I can't pick it up or move it because it's too big and heavy. But if we go inside this dome, you'll see we have a smaller version of the same world. You can see a smaller castle, ornate dome, towers, and a smaller version of the cube. An exact copy of the larger world is nested inside of the small world. Because this cube is much smaller, we can pick it up and move it around. And when we do that, we can see it gets moved in the regular sized world as well. Now that we have moved the large cube out of the way, we can access that area of the game. Anything that we do in the small world is reflected in the regular world around us. There are a lot of exciting implications to this. It's running in real time, so if we drop the cube here, you can actually see the larger version moving in the regular world. And if you look very closely in the background, you can see another even larger cube moving in a larger world out there. We have a simulation on all these levels of recursion. That was a simple example, but we can do some really cool stuff in unexpected ways using recursion. Here we have a key that we can use to open this door. Once we get inside, we see we have a gap too large to cross by jumping. Maquette asks you to think about new ways to use ordinary objects.
You believe it's dead. It's not. You give all you got. It's got more. You pause to think. It won't. Prepare to fight the root of all evil.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir.
You can have it for saving my life. You think he's a keeper?
Oh my god. Y'all gotta look at the bigger picture here. Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice.
Help me! Arlene.
Have you been a good girl?
I heard you're having second thoughts.
I know we have to think big if we're going to make a difference. But not like this. I feel trapped. My turn.
Get going.
Got you now! Huh?
You're not real. You're...
Cloud, I have a favor to ask of you. Run away. You have to leave. You have to live.
You bastard!
Hold on to that hatred.
プレイステーション